Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's me, Terry Hunter. I want to thank you all for such a warm welcome last week on my first broadcast on Lotta's channel. Um, I also wanted to bring up some of you had expressed concerns about the deck that I use. This is Messages from Your Angels by Doreen Virtue. I have not followed Doreen or her community since I was certified back in 2006. So hi James. I just recently, literally like within the last month, found out that she had denounced her community and has found Christianity. For me, I don't really care what Doreen does. I've used this deck since it was created, since before I was certified, and I've created a language with the angels. So to me, Doreen's denouncement doesn't have any effect on this deck or on my use of it. I have not purchased any of her products in years. Frankly, she just doesn't really resonate with me, and I think now we know why. So I just wanted to clarify that for everybody in case, you know, some of you took issue with this deck. As we work week to week, you'll find out that more times than not, the way I see the angels is not necessarily how it's been written originally. Okay, so with that being said, let's jump into Aries. First week of 2019, thank God. I'm really over 2018. It has culminated in quite a interesting way here in the neighborhood. Okay, so Aries, what does Spirit have to say for you for the first week of the year? And I'm sure you've all heard, if you'd listened to any of the forecasts, that, hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We have an eclipse this week, January 5th, I believe it is, here in the United States. So I kind of think of those things sometimes, those eclipses, as breaking away some of the crap, to be honest with you. Okay, let's go. Aries, our first angel is Bridget. The second is Seraphina. The third is Indriel. And the final is Ray. Okay, so Bridget is a card of caution. It asks me to look deeper into the situation before proceeding forward. I want to say I'm an Aries rising, guys, and I'm very Aries, very Mars. And this particular week, I have had some serious disruptions, not to my own doing, but they've affected me. And I've really had to sit back and kind of get a grip on myself, to be honest with you, because the warrior in me wants to lob heads off. And if I don't proceed with a calm head, I'm not going to get anywhere I want to go. So I really was talking to Spirit this morning, especially about being able to feel peace within myself about this dynamic, because I'm not sleeping as a result of it. So I'm asking, Bridget, I think, is asking Aries to look deeper into whatever situation is going on. Thank you, Candace. And to look, I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. To look deeper into the situation and what are your motivations? What are you basing your actions on? If you are hot, if you're mad, if you're frustrated, call upon God and the angels to help give you a sense of peace of mind so that you can proceed forward more effectively. Because in the opportunity obstacle, I have Seraphina. Seraphina is an angel of abundance. She'll talk up straight up about money, resources coming in. It's interesting because this is very applicable to my situation. I don't necessarily need money per se, but I do need resources and people to support my endeavor. So I am turning that over to God and the angels. And then here's Indriel in the angel's advice. Indriel is always about me shining my light. When I'm super angry, there's no light, baby. It's all cranky. It's all energy. And I hate when I show up like that because I am really good at it. And at 59 years old, I don't want to be good at that anymore. So I really want to say to my Aries, because here's Ray. This is one of the examples of how silly this deck is. Look at, if you can see, Ray is sitting in a meditative position. She has her power chakra coming out of her third eye, and then it's flanked by the green and the blue stripe. On the face of the card, it talks about yoga and exercise being essential to your well-being. But to me, this is about me turning my power over to spirit. In some ways, I'm completely powerless over this situation at this moment. It's the holidays, the governments are shut down. So I have to sort of sit back, take a moment for myself to look deeper about the situation. And when I mean deeper right now, I'm saying that if I try to micromanage this, I'm not trusting spirit to take care of it. So whatever's going on with Aries this week, look deeper to where your fears are, turn it over to spirit, thank them for the resources to solve the problem, to expedite the situation, and then get excited a little bit. I know the eclipses are kind of scary, but maybe they're good. Maybe it's going to break something away and start, getting balance back into the situation. All right, let's go into Taurus. What does spirit have to say for Taurus this week? All right, Taurus. Our first angel is Patience. The second is Archangel Gabriel. The third is Archangel Michael. And the final is Fiona. Okay, so Taurus, I'm a Taurus moon, so I get my two biggies out right in the first part of the spreads. Patience. Patience is not about sitting on an egg, guys. It's about gathering information, studying, assimilating that information, and then using it to launch off to support yourself moving forward. Oftentimes I think of this as, again, my energy, because my energy is going to dictate how I feel, is going to dictate how I show up. And the more conscious I can be of how I feel, I'm more powerful in how I show up. Archangel Gabriel is in the opportunity of the obstacle. I always think of her as a feminine energy. There are others that don't necessarily agree with that, but I just can't think that the top four are all men, all male energies. So she's saying, turn over whatever insecurities, whatever trepidations, whatever Patience is requiring you to observe right now, whether it be within yourself or outside yourself. Turn over any projected thoughts, because insecurities are oftentimes just projected thoughts of the worst case scenario. Because I have Archangel Michael in the angel's advice saying you're being protected, and also to have courage to step forward in that knowing that you're being supported. Because I have Fiona here. Fiona is saying, now that you've asked God and the angels for help, be open to receiving that help. Taurus, especially, you're about to go into, Uranus is going to go back into your sign in a couple of months. So you're probably already feeling the jitters of that. There isn't, we crave change sometimes and we fear change at the same time because we don't actually know what might happen. But as we set an intention, as we turn those wants and desires over to our guides and our angels and to God and Jesus and all those that watch over us, we can feel supported that they are starting to move things around to restore your peace of mind and your sense of self. I just want to put it that way. Okay, let's go on to Gemini. All right, what does Spirit have to say for Gemini? You should listen first for your rising, and then from my point of view, and I think Lotta's as well, the moon, because the moon is your emotional body. It's how you feel. So how you feel is going to dictate how you show up. And then the sun, I think, is how, and I'm a novice astrologer, big time, but the sun to me is how people perceive me more out and out, how I'm showing up in the outside world. So I'm a Libra sun, I'm a Taurus moon and an Aries rising. And most of my whole life, I have felt so Aries and Taurus. The Libra part of me is, unfortunately, seems rather small, to be honest with you, because while I do like balance and I do like to be fair and just, if things are, if I feel somehow an injustice, I'm not shy to assert myself. So as I've gotten older, I try to assert myself using my sword as Excalibur, Excalibur, the sword of truth, rather than lobbing off somebody's head. And I can do that. All right, let's go on to Gemini. TMI, guys, sorry. All right. Gemini, what does Spirit have to say for you for the first week of 2019? I can't believe 2019. I remember when I was a teenager and I used to listen to Prince singing 1999, and I thought it was so far out. I just can't even believe it. Anyway, all right, I digress once again. Daniel, the angel of marriage, Maya, Opal, and Desiree. Okay, so for my Geminis, Daniel is the angel of marriage and also partnerships. I want to say one of the things Daniel talks about is, yes, he is helping you to create a partnership, both potentially intimately and in business. But one of the underlying energies that Daniel asks of us is to look at our energy when we're coming into the partnership. I want to say for Gemini, there's a little something here where if you're entering a partnership in any way, or you're staying in a relationship because you're fearful of something or you need something, I feel like it's to look a little deeper. Maya's in my opportunity or my obstacle. Maya's a card of schooling and education. And that may be traditional schooling and education. But for me, in my genre, this is about my energetic education, because whether we want to address it or whether we want to admit it or not, everything we do is it's the vibration we're walking into the situation with. So when I know that, and when in many ways, this Opal is in the angel's advice. Okay. Where I want to go with this, Gemini, is I feel like Daniel is asking you to look at how you enter partnerships, to be mindful, to be innocent like a child, but not naive like a child. And I say that because I have Desiree in the final position. And she's saying that conditions are not necessarily favorable right now. So I want to say that when Desiree shows up, I want to take a pause. I don't want to stop a situation, but I don't want to move forward. I want to give myself an opportunity to observe the situation and to see spirit also lining me up to my dreams. When I'm talking to a collective as large as this potential Gemini is, and I see Opal in the angel's advice, it's heaven protecting my hopes, my dreams, the childlike things that I want, but also in this respect, asking me to somehow be more, to traverse my adulthood as well, and to see not only what I'm bringing into the partnership, but what I'm expecting out of the partnership. And is that in alignment with my true needs? Okay. That's a little weird for Gemini, but it could be good, because if indeed somehow you're making your decisions based on fear or trying to attain some sort of security to hang on to it, then you're going to find that's going to get a little choppy, because your foundation isn't authentic to your higher self and that real, true, authentic partnership that you want. Okay, let's go on to Cancer. All right, everybody. What does Cancer have to say? Stephen, you must be very intuitive. Pisces sun and moon. My little dog is a Pisces sun and a Pisces moon, and I swear he can read my mind. Honestly, you can tell the difference between when we're walking to the market and when I'm going to turn to the groomer. It's hysterical. Okay, Cancer, let's see what's up for you this week. All right. Our first angel is Francesca. Our second is Maya. The third is Archangel Michael. And the last is Astera. I want to just kind of define this too for me. In my spreads, the way I do this, guys, is the first and the fourth position are more in the material world. They're more, there's evidence or action happening here in the physical. The second and the third position are more the energies that the angels want you to know. What is your opportunity? What's working for you, or what's your obstacle? And then the angels are saying how to get around that. So for my Cancers right now, I have Francesca in the foundational position. Francesca says, what do you desire right now? Visualize that. Negativity will block your progress. I want to say that trying not to be negative in some ways, or trying to be positive when you're really spooked or scared, is actually kind of like putting gasoline on a fire, because there's a really resistant energy to the negativity. If you want, I believe Francesca will say, or what she's saying is not to chew on the negativity. If you can sort of hop, skip, and a jump over to, okay, once this has been solved, how does it feel? How does that feel once that relief is there, once that bill is paid, once that obstacle is out of the way? Because I think getting there, it'll be easier than that way. You don't have to focus on trying to be positive or trying to be negative, okay? Because Maya is here again. This is an education that is based on your energy, what you're learning, how your energy supports your experiences, or it also can give you the experiences you don't want. When we spend a tremendous amount of time focused on what we don't want, oftentimes it just smacks us right in the face. Archangel Michael here in the angel's advice is asking you to have the courage to make those decisions, those changes, you know, I want to say it this way. I don't even think it's changes. I think it's about having the courage to actually believe a bigger story. You know, if you're scared for some reason, Cancer, if you want something so much and you feel like you've been getting just crumbs of it, but it's a big thing and you're not quite sure, will it ever happen? It's your opportunity to be courageous, be brave in your own life. Why not me? That's the question you ask yourself, because Astera is saying to reach for the stars with your dreams and your desires and don't compromise. And when I say don't compromise, I'm not talking about being a bulldozer on to other people. I'm talking about not compromising in my courage to be brave enough and to call upon my angels to support my vision of myself. And that's what Francesca is asking for you, Cancer, to go into the place where you're swimming around in that place you want to be, that dream, that job, that relationship, that dynamic within your family, and then allow spirit to start to open the doors. Remember, every thought is two thoughts. We have our inspired thought, and then we have the dominant thought. The inspired thought is what I want. The dominant thought, most of the time, is the road to get there. And that's full of obstacles, potholes, speed bumps, left turns and right turns. And when we go there, we're sending this message to the universe, and it's of struggle and strife. So do your best to get to your destination in your mind, what it's like once you're there, and then spirit can clear the debris on the road. And you guys, when you start practicing this and playing with it, with little things that you actually do believe in, like parking spaces and stuff like that, you'll be shocked at how easily things seem to open. But it isn't. It's you cooperating with spirit in your vision of what you want for yourself. Okay, let's go on to Leo. What do we have to say for Leo? Aries, yes. It was a fun year, huh? I think a lot of people are challenged this year. So many planets in retrograde. And, you know, I want to say this too, because, guys, sometimes when we experience challenges in life, it's not just our challenges. Sometimes we are part of a team that has kind of, you know, how do I want to put this? Sometimes when we get into this earth experience, we actually think it's, you know, it's all there is. And there are other souls that come around and go, no, I know there's more to this than that. So we can kind of come together sometimes, and our own challenges are in service in many ways to somebody else who's gone under the veil of forgetting that we're all here in this together. And then we also can have that dual layer of, just like me, getting to check my way of being when I go into the situation in order to be effectual, versus allowing a crescendo of my frustration to explode out the top of my head, which is what happened this week. Okay, guys, I'm going to go on to Leo now. Okay. Leo, what does Spirit have to say for the first week of 2018? I mean, 19. We want 18 to be over. All right. First angel is Isaiah. The second is Patience. The third is Azure. And the final is Akasha. Okay, Isaiah talks about it being a good time to give birth to new ideas and new situations in your life, and to know that you're being watched over, protected during these during these changes. Isaiah is actually watching over a pregnant woman. So this may be, many of my Leos out there may be endeavoring to bring new little ones into this world. So please allow yourself the joyous activity of that. Patience is here in my opportunity or my obstacle. Again, patience is always teaching me about my energy. We get to a certain age and we may start to let ourselves get a little spooked about things sometimes. But you know, man has managed to survive for millennia. So if y'all are wanting to birth little ones into this world and you have any trepidation about it, turn that over to spirit, because Azure is here saying your desired outcome will happen in the very near future. Have patience, have faith, and don't try to force it. And then I have Akasha. Akasha is the card of the spiritual teacher. I don't think all of you Leos out there are going to run around being spiritual teachers, but as you joyously give birth to those new ideas, those new situations in your life, not just birthing children, but birthing any creations that you have, any dreams, desires, experiences you want to have. As you do that, you're sending a ripple effect out into the world. Leo already has this joyous, playful, fun energy that people want to gravitate to. Now, as you give birth to those ideas, if they may seem a little pie in the sky or a little out there, and you look at patience and what it offers you, what is my energy, what is my dynamic about this, and then go into that place that Azure offers you. What happens is you get to have that experience, and then those around you get to see and experience you doing that. And when you do that, that ripple effect is that there is no time, there is no space, there is no age when I cannot have the things that I want in my life. I just have to be tenacious in my patience about what is my vibration as I endeavor these things. Okay, Leo, that sounds pretty good to me if you ask me. All right, let's go on to Virgo. Oh, thank you. I'm loving all the hearts and the angels. Oh, hi, Rachel. I just did you both. I just did both yours, Rachel, already. Okay, here we go to Virgo. All right, my Virgos, what's up for the first week of the year? It's funny sometimes how the angels, there's a common theme a little bit. Okay, so Virgo, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectation. My Virgos, I love you dearly, but you're good planners. You want to plan, you want to know, and I think you've had a little bit of a challenge in that knowing recently. You've had to kind of go into this place of more of a faith-based dynamic, because you in that place of being okay. Let me back up and try to be more succinct. Virgo, I feel like you have been going through a dynamic where the energy's been choppy, okay? Where you've been trying to get where you want to go, let's say a new job, and then, you have like stuttered effects. I don't know how else to put it. Like you get a job interview and then that kind of fades away, or you get the second interview and then the other person gets it. It just feels stuttered. But Isabella is saying now that stuttering is going to move out of the way, because Ariel is saying as you connect, oh, the lighting is bad. As you connect to spirit, thanking them for the dynamic, thanking them for the great job, and thanking them for the great relationship. And when you do that, guys, don't thank them just for money. Remember, you're going to spend your life with that person or in that job. So you want to have great environment. You want to have a supportive dynamic, because patience is in the angel's advice. And again, this is a time of studying, of gathering, and connecting with spirit, because Virgo, even though the timing is right to move forward, you still have to be vulnerable. That's what Yvonne says to me. Yvonne, on the face of the card, says you've got a great way of working with animals. I never see it that way. It's always, I think of my cats, and, growing up, they were my children. And I always was, when I was scared about something I was trying to bring into the world, I would dream about my animals being in some sort of danger. So I want to offer my Virgos this. Yes, things are starting to open up. Yes, the new year is here. Yes, some of the choppy energies of 2018, see ya, don't want to be ya. And now connecting with spirit with the bigger version, not just money and security, but the environment, how I'm going to feel. You move that way, and then spirit, be vulnerable to that, and spirit will start laying evidence that you're popping open. You're breaking through. You're getting there. Okay. Yes, always ask your spirit. You know, when you guys, whatever medium you use to connect with spirit, because always allow yourself the privilege of that card expanding. You don't have to, throw the book away, frankly, and allow yourself that intuitive hit. Because when you start to assign what these cards mean to you, then spirit will bring those cards out to trigger that memory. And then you start creating your own relationship, which is, again, why I love this deck. I've been working with it for so long. I feel like if I abandoned it, I'd be abandoning a part of myself. I never look at the book whenever, and I only use these 2 decks, but I never looked at them. Toss it. Let your own intuitions, build your own language with spirit. It's so much fun. And then you can get it validated, 3 times. If you see something 3 times, or you tell spirit, when I see a red apple, I think of a teacher. When I see a green apple, I think of an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Then they will use that to spark something inside of you. And then you start building your language, and then you can even more feel supported by them. Okay, now I'll go on to Libra. Okay, Libra, here we go. Okay. Our first angel is Crystal. The second is Seraphina. The third is Archangel Uriel. And the final is Akasha. Okay, so, I've been talking about how I kind of had a moment this week with a challenging situation. And as I was pulling the cards, I was asking, because I'm a Libra sun, I was asking Spirit to give me a little hope that this is going to resolve itself. And sure enough, here's Crystal. Crystal says, have faith and hope. There's something positive on the horizon that you can't see. I want to offer you guys this. I'm not a big fan of the word hope, only because it always feels like I'm waiting for somebody on a big horse to ride up and save me. I'm a big fan of faith, faith that things can happen beyond my own awareness to see at the time. Because Seraphina is here in the opportunity, the obstacle, saying that a new change, a happy change is coming to my family, our family, Libra's family. And then I have Archangel Uriel. Archangel Uriel in the angel's advice deals with frustration, anger, unforgiveness. And frankly, I've been really angry and frustrated this last, longer than a week, but this week it crescendoed. And I've been asking Spirit to help me subside that anger, to connect with myself so that I don't allow that to chew me up. Now, it's in the angel's advice. In order for Libra to be happy this week, for that happy change to come, it's about looking about where you're frustrated, where you're angry, and what can you do about it? Because maybe you can't do anything about it right now. And it's about Crystal saying, we'll take care of it. It's time for you to just relax, settle down. Because Akasha, this spiritual teacher card, is here. And, I'm a very assertive person in general. I like to see, I see something, I'm not kind of fearful about going for it. But there's times when I can't do anything about a situation. I have to allow Spirit to move. And in my faith that I am being cared for, protected, supported, I then am a better teacher for others, because I stood in a calm energy, which is what these guys are asking me to do, and us as Libras right now, in order to support Spirit's move. If we're too angry and too frustrated, we can block Spirit's ability to bring in that new dynamic, to move the crap out, whatever it is. Okay, let's go on to Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, what does Spirit have to say for the first week of 2019 for y'all? Ooh. The cards just all flew out of my hand. Okay, I think that meant I'm done shuffling. All right, our first angel is Merlina. The second is Isaiah. The third is Ray. And the final is Vanessa. All right, Scorpio. So Merlina is a card that represents, can be confused or indecisive. You need to do more research, look deeper into the situation, seek out expert advice. I have Isaiah in the opportunity, the obstacle, saying it's time to give birth to new ideas and new situations. You're being protected. I have Ray. Again, Ray is my card of connecting my power center with spirit through my, and lovingly speaking to myself through my heart. And then I have Vanessa asking me to make my decisions based on faith instead of fear. So for Scorpio, what I'm going to say is it feels like the first week of the year, and maybe even this eclipse, it looks like it's giving you an opportunity to do a little bit of house cleaning in some ways. And I don't mean physical house cleaning. I mean looking into what it is you really want. If you're confused and indecisive right now for any reason whatsoever, ask yourself if this dynamic is coming from what you want, or if it's coming from a committee of some kind, if it's coming from somebody else having a good idea about what you should do, or, and this is not to the exclusion of your families and your obligations, but, when we support our own happiness, when we stand in our own truth, we then are more open to others standing in their truth. Our tolerance, our acceptance, our love actually grows. So I feel like this week, Merlina and Vanessa are really asking you to look a little bit more into where you're basing your decisions on, and are they based on the faith that you will have the happiness that you want, you'll have the joy, the connection, the love, the money, the resources. And then Isaiah and Ray are asking you to give birth to that idea. When I talk about giving birth to an idea, I still feel like sometimes people think it's about the road to get there. It isn't. It's even if you have no clue how you'll make $1 million, all you really have to know is how it would feel if you had that $1 million. So if you want $1 million, start spending it in your head, start spending it into spirit, and do it to a place where you kind of get the more excited, the more joy, the more silly laughter you can express in your faith that you're going to get what you want, Scorpio, the easier it is for spirit to move the obstacles out of the way. It's magical. And I can't express enough how often I've really experienced it. And the only time that I get caught up and I get stuck is when I keep thinking I'm the one doing it all. It's connecting with spirit and then moving forward. All right, let's go on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, what is up for you this week? I just got this, as I was shuffling, I got this feeling. I got a sweet tooth this week, and I bought some almond roca, and I'll tell you, I won't do that again for a long time. So I wonder if Sagittarius is feeling having a sweet tooth this week. Okay, here we go. What do the angels have to say? The first is Opal. The second is Astera. The third is Indriel. And the final is Patience. Okay, so Opal talks about your children on heaven and earth being safe and well cared for by God and the angels. And, that is very much true for your physical children, whether you have them or you want to bring them into the world. But as a collective, Sagittarius, I'm going to say those children are your inner children, who you are, what you want to dream, what you want to experience, what you want to leave behind, I want to say, because Astera is in the opportunity, the obstacle, asking you to reach for the stars with your dreams and your desires and not to compromise. That compromise is in my intention. It's very much about having that razor focus, because in the angel's advice, Sagittarius, I have Indriel, the light worker card. And this is really about all you have to do is shine your light. Be happy, be joyful, be excited. This is your year, Sagittarius, whether you're a sun, moon, or rising. Even Pisces, you get to enjoy this Sagittarius energy or this Jupiter energy as well. So allow for your mind and your dreams to expand, because I believe that patience here at the end of the spread for Sagittarius is you're going to learn something about this dynamic, and in such a way that the next big dream, because once we attain a dream, it's usually the impetus for the next dream. So that's where patience is beautiful, because it gives you the tools, the energetic dynamics to go into the next big dream, or the 2.0 version of it, or the expansion of your dream, or the trust that it will sustain, that it isn't going to disappear or be pulled out from underneath you or evaporate out of nowhere. So Opal says, go to that inner child, feed your inner child, have the trust of the inner child, reach for the stars, shine your light, and then watch your energy as you move forward. Because as you move forward and the doors start to open, you helped do that, Sagittarius. It wasn't some dumb luck. It was you working with spirit, cooperating with the dynamic. Okay, let's go on to Capricorn. This is your eclipse, I believe, Capricorn. So this could be really fun. Could be kind of like a little bit of a roller coaster ride. This week, when some of the disruptions have been going on or culminating, I thought, well, maybe this eclipse is actually, going to be the thing that gets this thing to blow out. So I'm really trying to adopt this attitude that the eclipses are working for me, not against me. All right, Capricorn, let's see what's going on. Athena is our first angel. The second is Isaiah. The third is Grace and Antoinette. And the final is Vanessa. It's interesting, on the face of the cards, Athena and Vanessa have very warrior energy. Kind of like, I don't want to say warrior like lob your head off. It's the goddess energy. They're very strong, like Xena, warrior princess, I want to say. Because Athena is saying it is safe for you to be powerful. And you know how to do this lovingly. It's about lovingly asserting yourself into your dynamic. Okay, when I say this lovingly, it's not about syrup. It's not about syrup. It's not about, looking for other people's permission to do what you want. It's about asserting yourself confidently in a way that says, I love myself enough to give birth to new ideas about myself and about this situation, about whatever your dynamic is. I feel like Capricorn, sometimes when I think about Capricorn, it depends, men and women are different in their Capricorn energy, but sometimes you can be just a little bit Saturn, you're just a little dry, just a little blunt, just a little, well, this is how it is. And you're right, it is. But when you lovingly assert yourself, it's sort of putting a little bit of really kind of being aware of how it's going to land on the other side. Because Grace and Antoinette is asking you to have compassion as you give birth to new ideas and new situations. Again, the second and the third positions are more the angel's advice, because Vanessa is here in the final position asking you to lovingly assert yourself in a faithful way with what you want. And if this is a conversation with another person or a dynamic where you have trepidation because you have experience with this person and you have a feeling of how they're going to react, in some respects, that's where Athena comes in. That's where you lovingly assert yourself in a way that is mindful, so that the other dynamic can hear you, so that we can start to see you moving forward in a, Vanessa's an interesting card because there's no real conclusion here. It's more about an energy, a dynamic. It's like, if I lovingly assert myself to my deepest truth, and I'm mindful of how the other person might respond to that, so I don't use cuss words or I don't trigger them by blaming, just staying in my space, then I get to be faithful that whatever's going to happen is going to raise the vibration between the dynamic. So let's just say that you've been in a marriage for 20 years and you're used to your husband or wife behaving in a certain way. Maybe if you were more mindful of, rather than defending against their position, but working with it, knowing that they're, however their way of being is they're dealing with that as well. I think we can shift in energy. I know this seems really kind of random and ambiguous, but it also feels like 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was funny, Stephen. I just feel like this is more about Capricorn looking about how they're showing up and not dumbing down your truth, but being able to learn how to express it so that it will be faithfully. You can have faith that you can do that and it will be received. Okay, let's go on to Aquarius. Okay. Here we go, Aquarius. Oh, I feel so relieved for you guys to come off the axis, the eclipse axis. Some of my clients have both elements. They had Sun, a Leo, and Moon, Aquarius, and those eclipses were all over the map. All right, here we go. All right, we have Teresa in the first position. We have Astera in the second. We have Archangel Uriel in the third. And finally, we have Chantal. All right, Aquarius. This very much feels like a time to take care of you this week. You know, just it's the end of the holidays. It's like, you know, Teresa's a card saying it's time out. You know, you've been really busy taking care of a lot of other people, other things, other situations. I also kind of think of her as a little bit of a worry card, you know, where I'm worrying about everybody else. Astera is saying, as we've talked a lot today, reach for the stars with your dreams and your desires and not to compromise. This feels like an obstacle to me for Aquarius right now, because with Teresa's energy saying I've been taking care of everybody else, which is absolutely appropriate for this time of year. It's all about family. It's all about celebration. It feels like I'm not reaching for the stars. I'm not taking care of me, because Archangel Uriel talking about being frustrated, being annoyed, being angry. And what I feel like is he's not saying to Aquarius that you are being that way. It's like, time out, take care of you, Aquarius, because if you don't take care of you, you will get cranky. That's what it feels like. Because I have Chantal in the final position. Chantal is a romance angel. She talks about the resurgence of a romance or a new person coming in, but I don't see it for Aquarius that way this week. I feel like it's about self-love. It's about taking care of you so that you'll be better equipped to take care of others. So if you have to turn your phone off, if you have to disconnect and somebody's used to connecting all the time, it's okay. They'll get it. They'll honor that. We all get pooped and tired and need our space, because I think that this is a week of self-love, self-care, and I mean with a little spit and polish, Aquarius, you know, not just like do something nice for yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. All right, here we go. Our last one is Pisces. My little lucky's a Pisces. All right, guys. What does Spirit have to say for y'all this week? You know, this last couple of weeks, I don't know what it is about Pisces, but I just have this excited feeling for you. I just feel like, I don't know, like Spirit has a surprise for Pisces. And I don't know if it's that Jupiter thing and it's the ancient ruler. So we're not really paying attention to Jupiter with Pisces, but yet it's there. But I don't know. I'm just excited for Pisces. Okay. First angel is Isabella. The second is Layla. The third is Archangel Gabriel. And the final is Azure. Well, there's my excitement. Okay, Isabella, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectation. Remember, first and fourth position are in the material world. Second and third are more in the advisory, how to get around it. So I have Layla. Layla and the opportunity, the obstacle is my walking meditation. It's where she says, get out in nature so that we can support and confirm what it is that we want you to know. I'm fortunate to live by the ocean. And on Christmas Day, an osprey, a seahawk, decided to eat his lunch, his breakfast, his Christmas dinner up on this telephone pole. And he sat there for about 4 hours. And that's a big totem for me, because the seahawk traverses not just the air element, but the water element with great precision and sight. And, the air element represents our mind, and the water element represents our emotions and our intuition. So having this situation happening and this frustration in my neighborhood, and having that Seahawk, it was a very strong totem. It was there for 4 hours, I think. I watched him and took pictures of him. I want to say that because Layla is wanting to support Pisces being excited, okay? Being like, okay, you know what? I think good things are coming. I've been doing the work. I've been doing, not just doing in my actions, but in my being energy, because Archangel Gabriel is in the angel's advice in relation to Layla. She's saying that you have an important purpose in life. She's saying that you have an important life's purpose in arts and communications. Everything we do is communications. But she also says, don't let insecurities get in your way. So Archangel Gabriel is saying to Pisces, get out in nature and I will confirm that you're on the right path. I will give you signs, and look for them 3, okay? And it could be license plates. It could be a random sign in a window. It could be an animal totem. I mean, it could be anything. And again, I said it earlier, as you assign meaning to something, then Spirit will use that to give you that sign. Red apple for me is a teacher. Green apple is doctors, you know, keep the doctor away. So again, play with this for yourself, because Pisces, I have Azure in the final position saying your desired outcome is going to happen in the very near future. You don't have to force it. So I'm so excited for you. This is kind of feels like a great week, you know, relax a little bit, just kick back. I don't want to say like kick back like if you have responsibilities. Of course, you have to take care of your responsibilities, but kick back in your attitude that you know that you're being supported, and the bigger things that you want, the things you've been birthing for feels like quite some time, they're going to start to reveal themselves. Okay, guys, that's it for me this week. Again, I want to thank you all for coming. I felt such a warm welcome from this community. I'm so excited to be part of it. I don't know, I could even just cry. It's because I was thinking to myself, I was letting this annoyance get in my way, and I have so many wonderful things happening. And I was like, no, I'm going to claim my life back and push back on that and just sit here and enjoy being able to be here with y'all on Sundays. And I look forward to building more relations with y'all in the new year. So have a wonderful, happy, safe new year. And I will see you next week for our first in 2019. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.